You are now live. Awesome. So, I just got home from being out of state and I have some stuff that I want to get put away, but I want to unbox the stuff. So, a couple cool things I got from Etsy. Check out this huge foxtail. So, this is like a powder blue, black foxtail. I think it's meant to be like a keychain or something else. But obviously I got it for making hair jigs with. So imagine all the hair jigs you can make with this. I think this was like $15. Thinking of making like a limited run color of just a bunch of hair jigs with this, but I have been starting making these. These are foxtail, purple and black, fox hair jigs basically. So I'm gonna make as many as I can with this stuff that I got. This is purple and black, super nice, affordable, but it's got like a shimmer, and there's kind of like a secret on how I'm taking the stuff off of here, but I'm gonna make as many fox hair jigs with these. I think I got 2 strips. I'm gonna make as much as I can, and then I'm gonna do a limited drop, and I think I'm gonna do that with that powder blue stuff. And what did I even order? So this is like another foxtail I got. This is huge, but this is very faint blue in it, so it actually looks pretty cool, but it looks black on screen. But dude, like, how many hair jigs can you make with this? Like if you got foxtail from like a fishing site or like a fly tying site, you're gonna pay like, I don't know, $5-6 for a tiny bag, but like I got a hotel, so that was like $15 I want to say. So I broke the tip of it off, so I'm like cutting them off in sections, and then I'm using the sections up when I'm tying. But I found some like cool ways to use the underfur and the coarser hairs. It's gonna be cool. So I got that stuff. So now that I unboxed, or at least made a video of it, I could kind of start putting the stuff away. What else did I buy? So I got some like GLX Spawn Cherry 110s. Let's see what the hell I ordered. So I got, so these look like the +1s. I got 2 of them. I don't know if this light is helping or making things worse. But yeah, these are the 110 +1 GLX Spawn Cherry. These are kind of hard to get, but they do, I mean, I wanted to say they do come around, but they really don't. So these are the +1s, which I think I have a couple of them, but I did not have the just regular 110. And why do I order these? Because I have a huge collection of them. I do fish with them. Here's the Respect colors, Cyber Illusion and the Moss Ore. So I got these. I got one of each. If it's a color I really like the Crack Sand and the Sunset Teaser, I'll order a couple of them. But these are going into my collection. The 110s are going in my collection. The +1, I might throw it in the box, but yeah, I should do an unboxing of my collection. It's disgusting. I think I have like, I think I did the math. If everything was MSRP, I'd have like over $5 grand and just Megabass, Megabass 110s, and that does not include the limited run stuff and the really hard to get stuff and like the numbered out of stuff. So next box is Tackle Warehouse. I have an idea of what I ordered in here, but just get this stuff unboxed so I can put the crap away. I've been gone for like a day and a half. I just got home, but I'd like to get this stuff off the floor and unboxed. I'm not gonna look at the receipt. So I ordered a bunch of Brian Schmidt baits, it looks like. So Brian Schmidt has he's helped me with some tying stuff before. And I wanted to buy some of his stuff to fish and try out, and as well as, you know, to look at, because some of the stuff is just cool to look at. So I got some marabou. So I make my own marabou, but I still buy jigs, and I still, you know, buy hair jigs, obviously. So this is a Ned head. It looks like a 1/0 hook. This is the Brian Schmidt 32nd ounce hair jig. So this is just a marabou jig, an olive, obviously. Yeah, I would like to kind of like look super close, but that's gonna take a long time to do. So let's see what else I got. So I got the Ned Dreads. This is the Canada Craw color in the 1/8. So I'm gonna use the hell out of these. So it looks like it's got like a copper brownish head paint and like a really light, like yellow almost watermelon skirt, then like a olive marabou tied in there, and the marabou is like the good section of marabou, like with the really pointy tips on them. I don't know if I turn this. I have like a ring light, but I don't know if it even helps. But yeah, he's got a website. They're on Tackle Warehouse if you really wanted to look. But it seems like he used the very tips of the feathers when he tied these. Like he uses the top section of the marabou. I'm guessing. I don't know, but the top section's got thinner feathers and pointy feathers compared to like the bottom. Like the top feathers are really nice in certain baits, whereas like the bottom is better for like bulking up. So like it's nice to use like those tippy feathers for the like the head side of the jig. Looks really nice. So I got 1/8, which is the main size that I use if I'm Ned rigging. Got some more stuff, but let's see what kind of marabou and Ned stuff I got from him. So I got more Ned Dreads. This is the 3/32 ounce. This is a green pumpkin, and so it's got dark olive marabou, then it's got dark green pumpkin, silicone, and a little chartreuse silicone as well. So these, yeah, 3/32 ounce. So these are nice when like the river's calm. So I got 3/32, 1/8, 3/32 again. So he was sold out on a couple colors. And this one is the Agent Orange, 3/32. So this as well has the dark olive marabou, then it has like a green pumpkin orange brown like Tabasco kind of color silicone. Yeah, the lighting's terrible, but so I think they come in packs of 2. Yeah, so you buy one, you get a 2-pack. I got more of those. Let's see what else I got. The 1/8 in gangrene. So if you want to see pictures of these, like Tackle Warehouse is probably the best to get an up close picture, but these are like a dark green pumpkin silicone with some like chartreuse like bars in them, so like it's subtle. Clearly this lighting is not helping, but yeah. It's got a little chartreuse, but mainly it's green pumpkin, which is like my favorite. My favorite is green pumpkin and chartreuse, but keep the chartreuse kind of calm. 3/32 ounce marabou hair jigs. So these are built on the Ned head, and they are tied with black marabou, obviously. So I got, 2-pack of those to try. It's nice to see like other tires and how they, present their stuff. Let's see, I got this is a spinnerbait, and it has tons of stuff going on. Wow. So this is a 3/8 ounce. It's like a hybrid spinnerbait. Schmitterbait is the name of it. So this is a 3/8, and it is black, rust, and olive. I'm just trying to see like everything that was used in it. So you got a spinnerbait head, then you have like a dark olive marabou into a like wine, rusty brown marabou. And there's some kind of like flash material in there that's built up. It might be like ice dubbing kind of thing going on. Then you have these like longer feathers on the tail end of it. I don't know if that's like, I don't think it's ostrich, but it's not like your typical marabou. But, it's more bulkier than marabou feather. I do not know what that is, but it's pretty cool. So I got, let's see, football jig, finesse jig, finesse football jig, and finesse football jig. So let's look at these finesse football jigs. These are 3/8, so that is like the size that I would use the most. So one of them, green pumpkin orange, and the other one is green pumpkin chartreuse. So 2 awesome color patterns that would work in my area. So these are hybrid as well. So they're finesse. The skirts aren't finesse cut, but I mean, you could trim the skirt if you wanted to in the weed guard. I mean, you should be trimming your weed guards. So yeah, especially if you're selling jigs, like, you might as well leave the skirts long and let, the consumer trim it to their liking. But this one, the orange one has light olive marabou in it, and the darker one with the chartreuse has a dark marabou in it. So these will be cool to kind of dissect when I take them out of the package, but definitely gonna use these baits. I'm not going to like see how we tied everything, but it's pretty cool. So this is this one's not a finesse football, it's just a football hair jig, and a Nana Bread Craw is the color. So yeah, my lighting's like cloudy and stuff, but this one is, I'll paint a picture for you. It's got like a matte finish, brown and black head, dark green pumpkin silicone with like hints of light brown in it, and then it's got bucktail. So this is probably the difference between this and the finesse, is that this one it's predominantly bucktail hybrid instead of marabou, but it's got like a light brown, almost orange bucktail tied in there. So that must be the difference in the finesse to the regular. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever even tied that before. Tied in bucktail and then silicone. So here is a finesse jig. So this has kind of like an archier kind of pitching style head on it. And this is in brown craw, and it's a 1/4 ounce. So this is a lighter kind of a pitching bait for me. So it has like the weed guard that, you know, I'll thin out and trim to how I like, and it has actually a little bit of bucktail. It has bucktail on the top half, and then the bottom half has like that rusty brown marabou. So this is like a 3-part hybrid finesse pitching jig. Green pumpkin brown and rust brown silicone as well. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So like I tie with a lot of the same materials that Brian, cool name, Brian does, but like the jigs look different, how we both like present them. So I think that's cool to kind of see that. Let's see. So I did show, I think a week ago or so, the new Agent E from Berkeley Power Bait. So it's kind of like a Megabass Dark Sleeper kind of bait. And I saw these and decided to buy these as well because I do want to try them. So these are the Savage Gear kind of style ones. I don't even know what the name of these. The Structure Gill. Let's see if I can get a good. So these are like another, you know, Megabass Dark Sleeper kind of bait. So it's got a hopefully not a super fine wire hook. I'm gonna open one. So these all have like the fins that cover the hook kind of deal going on. I got my favorite sizes, at least in the Dark Sleeper, which would be the 3-inch. 3/4 ounce is my favorite, and then the 1/2 ounce would be my second favorite. So I got that in the Savage Gear models. So it does have like a photorealistic kind of. The hook is kind of weird. Yeah, photorealistic kind of paint job on them. One's got like a chartreuse gill kind of look, and the other one's a natural bluegill kind of look. So there's like the chartreuse, there's the natural. So as far as like the looks go, they look good. Let me see. One's called Sinking Chartreuse. I don't know if sinking's in the name. And the other one's bluegill. So chartreuse gill and bluegill. Makes sense. So the hooks are kind of interesting, at least. So they kind of, that hook bend kind of bends in. Do you see that? Pretty hard compared to like the Berkeley and the Megabass have more of like a round hook bend. This one's, I wouldn't say EWG style, but it, you know, that bend is a lot harder. But hey, it might be a good thing. I don't know if the weedlessness is going to be better with these, but it seems like the hook point is not as close to the front fin as those Megabass ones. Let's see what knockoff Berkeley did with theirs. Oh wait, I ordered more of those. Funny. So I got the 3-inch 3/4 and the 3-inch 3/4, my favorite size in the Megabass version, but these are the Berkeley ones. So why did I even order these? I must have gotten them because I couldn't find the 3/4 ounce in store when I bought those ones. But I got the 1/2 ounce in the little 2 and 1/4 size because I wanted to kind of see what they were all about up close. But now I got the actual sizes and colors that I would get if they had full stock. These are what I would choose. So I got the I said it 17 times, but I got the 3/4 and Purge. So this is kind of their version of it. This is their version of that. And a piece of Arctic Fox. So this is the Savage Gear. I'm going to call it the Megabass Dark Sleeper style bait. So there's the Savage Gear. And then next to it is the Berkeley Agent E. So I don't know about that weed guard going on there, but who knows, it might work. But the Savage gear looks realistic. The hook is kind of goofy, but with that plastic fin in there being like 1/4 inch from the hook point, I think it's going to be more weedless than these, and maybe more weedless than the Megabass version, but we'll have to try that out. So their tail fin is at least different. The Powerbait Berkeley one just has the traditional Megabass tail. Just kidding, just the regular paddle tail. So I got a bunch of these. I didn't get a bunch of them. I have a handful of them. So I got one other color in the same size, the 3" 3/4, best size. So these are good for pitching around like docks and pads and wood, fishing like a jig. But you could swim them. Yeah, so the Savage gear, they have kind of like a slanted side fin. You could say that helps it stabilize itself. Who knows? It might, but the Berkeley version has... They don't have like those stabilizer fins. They just have like a 3D fin that actually sticks out. They stick out of the bait. So I don't know if that's like a realism thing or a... Yeah, it's definitely not going to help it swim differently. But this is a good-looking bait, though. That's a realistic, good-looking bait. And the tail's a little brighter. So that's like a bluegill pattern. And if you lift up the side fins, you could tell that they airbrushed it, and the bottom's white. So that's pretty classy. Yeah, not... So the hook gap on these is pretty big compared to the Savage gear. And probably the Megabass. I'll have to grab a Megabass. I keep talking about it, but I don't have one here. I'll pull one out in a second. Yeah, I stab myself. So here is a 3/4, or not a 3/4, here is a 3" 1/2 ounce. So they have, you know, the traditional tail. They have the side fins, but they're not like... I don't think they're built to stabilize the bait. They're built for realism, a realistic look. But if we're comparing hooks, the Megabass definitely doesn't have the hook gap that the Berkeley one does. It's similar to the Savage gear, but honestly, Megabass probably has... It seems like they have the most stouter hook, but the hook gap is not as big. Dude, I got the full collection of dark sleepers. So the dark sleeper, that fin that's supposed to cover that hook point is like right up at the front. But here's the Berkeley, here's the Savage gear, and here's the OG Megabass. So they're all the similar bait. I want to say this came first, and then this one did? I don't know. Kind of the similar, same time, but this one is what I've been using. There's another like Walmart bait that's been around a long time that's actually similar to the dark sleeper. Forget the name of it. I think Storm makes it. But they have beefy stout hooks on those ones. So I guess we're talking about dark sleepers again. Here is a couple other colors that I like. These are the Donko. So I can't tell, but these are either 3/4 or a 1/2 ounce, but that 3" is my favorite. Now that I think of it, I don't know if they sell a 3/4 and a 3" but they sell 3/4 in this size. So this would be my second favorite size. So yeah, the hook gap is not very big, but The hook sets are fun and they're fun to fish. This one's like a transparent chartreuse, so you can see the hook and like the hook gap. So the hook point on this one doesn't like run up right to the front like the other ones do, the smaller ones do. So that's that. That was my tackle warehouse. I have a ton of Brian Schmidt, hybrid baits that I'm going to use up. Some of it's similar to what I make, but it's definitely a different guy tying it. So the bait looks completely different. So that's tackle warehouse. I got that. I got the Vision 110 box. I got the fox tail that I showed. I'm also not like gonna do I'm gonna do a live stream at this time. I'm just gonna do one, and then if people want to watch them, they can. So this is probably the most fun box. The Bento Box from Ben and the Hookup Tackle. So I've been subscribed to their box since like the first month they did it. And every month, what day is it? It's like the 17th. So like, is it the 17th? It's the 22nd. But I probably got this box like a week ago. So I could just start pulling stuff out. I have kind of an idea. Okay, so this is each box you get a 110 and a Pop Max, but this one looks like, this is a cool color. This is Gilco, which they make in the LBO size, but this one is in the 110, which you cannot buy. You can't buy these in this color. Maybe you can on eBay, but that's an insanely nice natural bluegill color. But they have it in other baits, they have it in some crankbaits, and they have it in the LBO 110, but not in the regular. So this one will go in my collection box. Same with this one. So here is another Gilco color in the Pop Max. So I don't follow like the market as well. I feel like my camera's not very... I'll just pull it out. I feel like the market for the Pop Maxes is so insanely deep that I could never picture myself collecting them. But here is the Gilco pattern. It's fully transparent. I gotta get my lighting fixed, but yeah, that's really natural color, and it's got some pink in the middle. Just type in Gilco and look at their other baits, but it's one of their most realistic bluegill patterns that Megabass has. So that's honestly probably like a top 10 color, top 5 color even, that they make, that I like. I don't fish water with shad, just bluegills and perch. Let's see, I'm just gonna start pulling stuff out and I'll share my thoughts. So here is the bait is called a Twitch Shiner 72, and it is made from Adusta, authentic, designed, and universal standard tackle for anglers. So, sounds JDM. So this looks like, I'll spec it out, 72 millimeters, 7 grams, floating. So this is kind of like a topwater jerk bait. So this would definitely be nice on the river, where you're fishing around Chunk Rock and you fish right above it. The Twitch Shiner has a unique disc mount lip. It is specially designed for jerking and twitching. The lip edge is crafted in such a way that limits the thickness to create a jerky, crisp, darting action, blah, 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 blah. JDM, JDM, JDM. Can't read it all. So this would be cool, throw this on a spinning rod. don't worry about getting snagged up. It's in a natural color. It looks kind of like, you know, minnow or shad. But I could take all these out, but we'll throw this up here. So here's a bait, again, from the same company, Adusta. And this is the Twitch Shiner 90. The last one was a Twitch Shiner 72. So I don't know if this is a new company, but same thing. It's kind of like a floating jerk bait. Same diving depth, but this one's just going to be a little heavier. 12 gram instead of 7 gram. So if you look at the lip, it has like that bend in it. So that's going to keep it, you know, on like the top foot of the water surface. So I mean, to me, this is basically this similar to that last bait I showed, but just a bigger profile bait. I mean, still, it's a 90 millimeter size, so it's not a huge bait itself, but pretty cool. 12 grams. How much is 12 grams? With the box. No, can't weigh it with the box. So there is, looks like 2 terminal tackle things in here, and then 2 bags of soft plastics. Looking familiar though, for the most part. So, trying to figure out. So it's just under a ½ ounce, so equivalent to like a 7/16 ounce. I don't know, 7/16, a little less than a half. So yeah, since I took it out, here it is. It's got a really realistic, you know, shad minnow kind of bait fish pattern. But it's going to be top water. It's got a pearl belly. It's not transparent. So that's a cool bait. I didn't know like this existed, or I didn't know about this company. So yeah, it's basically a bait to try out. Where do we want to put this? This guy. So we'll go with the terminal tackle next. It's a Ryugi Infini 2-aught EWG hook. These have like a slick coating on them. So it's kind of like it's EWG style, but it's more rounded in the hook bend. I know these are really good hooks, but I've never really used them. I use Gamakatsu most of the time, but I know Ryugi and, you know, where's the other JDM bait that I can't think because I'm just like talking too fast. Oh yeah. Alright, this is a Ryugi as well. So this is just a drop shot sinker, 3/8, and these are tungsten. So those came in the box. This is kind of the higher end of a weight that I would use for my drop shot, but I use 3/8 occasionally. I typically use a 1/4. But got those. I'm trying to think of the other JDM hook brand that I keep thinking of. I think it's the Geek Crack, honestly. The Bellows hook. Alright, so there's 2 bags of soft plastics in here. One of them is a very well-known OSP, the Doe Life series beaver, in a really good size, 3/5. So this is great for, I mean, you can use it as a jig trailer, you can free rig this bait, you can drop shot this bait, you can flip this bait, and it is at a really good size, smaller size. I might have a couple of those But like OSP plastics are really nice. I honestly did not care for them because like they're so expensive until I signed up for the Bento and started using the stuff. So I already had the 3.5 in the green pumpkin chartreuse color. And then I just got the, this is all Japanese, but I assume this is either green pumpkin or like a dark watermelon, but I'm 90% sure that's green pumpkin. So the Doe Live Beaver is a really, really popular bait in Japan. But my favorite baits, these are really great, but my favorite baits from them is probably still the Doe Live series, but the Doe Live Craw is my favorite bait from OSP. I don't know if I have any to show you guys right now. I think I would, but they might be in my backpack, my fishing backpack. But my second favorite bait is probably the Doe Live stick. 3.5 is great for drop shot, you know, trailers for chatterbait even. So it has the straight tail on it, and it's very soft, kind of oily. So it moves really, really well. The colors are really, really nice too. Like they're, I don't know how to explain like a high quality color in a plastic, but OSP is like A+ at least for my judgment and how I look at colors in plastic and stuff. And another bait that is amazing is the Shad Tail. So this is a 3.6. This is a size I use for, you know, just a swim bait trailer on a ball head or an Okashira head. Sometimes I'll use these. You could easily cut the head off and shorten the bait if you wanted to. So this is a very, very, very soft, you know, oily bait. The colors are really, really like well done, natural, but you know, you still have some loud colors too, but they look really good. So this is just green pumpkin chartreuse, which is my favorite color in soft plastics. So yeah, this bait and the Doe Live stick have been one of probably a top 5 technique that I've used for drop shot in the past year when I do fish. So yeah, like 100% facts. If you get the Shad Tail, the Doe Live stick, and the 3.5, even the 4-inch is good for a drop shot with like a 2-aught EWG. I fish EWGs a lot sometimes on drop shot, and I don't have issues with it. The Shad Tail from OSP, the Doe Live stick is really, really good. The Doe Live Craw is really, really good. And I got some Doe Live beavers that I have tried, but it's hard to put the craw down when I'm fishing jigs, and I have a bunch of crab on my screen. But yeah, so that was the box. The hookup I got. Oh yeah, one more bait. So I did get a plastic from this bait, or from this company in the last month's Bento. So I'm guessing Tiemco is the brand of this bait company. So these are shrimp style baits. And this doesn't look transparent. So it's kind of a black, I should take one out. Let's see. It's a 125 millimeter bait. It says Vibra shrimp 5-inch. So it's a 5-inch shrimp bait. So how I would think of that is drop shot or free rig. I do not picture this being a trailer in any way. But yeah, I'll take one out. I'll actually show you the baits that I got last month from them. So this is a 5-inch oily durable plastic, and it has some bulby appendages, and then it kind of, you know, thins out. So these things are wiggling as the bulby parts are moving, and it has like all these like hellgrammite kind of legs going on. There's no hook slot. But yeah, I'm just trying to see. So it's got a fatter body on it. It's more fatter vertical than it is horizontally. But I'm just thinking if I would drop shot this or probably free rig this. I don't know. Probably just free rig this bait. But yeah, seeing like a fat body like that, typically I wouldn't nose hook it just because the length of it is so long. I'd probably, you know, put a 3/0 or a 2/0 hook EWG in there and free rig this like on a 1/4 ounce drop shot weight, or I would just drop shot it in the same weight, same fashion. Kind of let the bait do its work, and not, you know, move it around a lot, because this has a lot of action just being itself. So that's an interesting bait. Probably not a bait I would ever buy. Well, I probably would. But this is a shrimp bait, so typically it's not a bait you would buy unless you like trying out JDM stuff. But last month they gave me, so this is another TMCO brand, and this is the Buzzing Grub. This is a 3.5 inch bait, but it's fat as hell. I'll take one out, which would require me to break the packaging. So this bait is meant to be used as I don't know if it's meant to, but I think it's ideally meant for like a buzzbait trailer. Buzzing Grub 3.5. So I mean, it has the word in the name. So kind of like a horny toad, whatnot. So this is really thick, really durable and hard. But it's kind of, if you're using it as a buzzbait trailer, you don't really need a soft plastic. So that's definitely durable. Has like this unique hook slot on top. Well, it's not a hook slot. Well, it does have a hook slot on the bottom. Or does it? It does not, but it's like a, I don't know, these are like super shallow hook slots, but the top has this like extended piece of plastic strip in there to hide, you know, possibly hide a hook. But then if you think about it, if you're using it as a buzzbait trailer, you wouldn't even need that at all. But it has these like paddle tails, like pointing inward, and it has just these tentacles with, you know, flanges on the tips of them. So this definitely has to be moving like aggressively. I think it'd be too aggressive for like a chatterbait, but I mean, you could even rip these antennas off and like fish it like a frog if it floated. That'd be cool. But yeah, this is more of for like a buzzbait trailer, I want to say. Interesting. It's definitely like thick and firm and durable. So yeah, that was what they sent me last week. It's an interesting bait. I probably wouldn't buy this by itself if it wasn't just given to me. But it's all good. So yeah, that was all the stuff that I wanted to unbox because it's been sitting on my floor for a week and a half. So now that I got that over with, I can put the stuff away. I am caught up on orders. I had to stop taking orders, and it still took me like 2.5 weeks, but I'm caught up. I'm still not like aggressively trying to take orders right now. I am trying to work on some limited run kind of production drop stuff. Some cool, I don't know, I showed it at the beginning of the video, but these are Fox Hair Jigs, and I have some of the coarser hairs, like, I'll turn the light on for these. Super bright. I don't know if you could even see these. But, so I have the first layer that I put down of the Fox. I kept some of the coarser hairs in there. And then the rest of it is layered with very slight coarse hair, but most of it is the underfur of the Fox, which is like softer, like, I don't know, it's like softer than marabou. It's crazy. So I layered, I think there's like 4 layers of that super soft fox fur in there, and then I used woven flashabou. So the flash is actually blue wrapped with purple, so I'm not putting a strip of flashabou and then a strip of crystal flash. It's all kind of like a one and done material. So that's cool. So I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to do 3/32, an 1/8, and 3/16, and just see, well, this one's a 1/4, but I'm going to see, like, I'm just going to make as much as I can and then sell them, like, kind of like a limited drop, but, like, so the coarse hairs, actually, I'm touching them right now. Like, this is how far away from the hook those coarse hairs go. And then it bulks up kind of right here. The hook bend is right here. I'll just try to show you guys. So yeah, this is my like next mini project I'm working on. Terrible lighting. But yeah, this stuff is really soft. I should probably do a tank video, but I'm also doing a collaboration kind of thing as well. So there's the splay. It kind of tapers the closer you get to the head, which is kind of a new, not a new thing, but it's like a habit that I'm forming on all my bucktail and my marabou, is I try to taper them. Oops. Here we go. So this is a tiny 3/32 head. But if you can see, there's kind of a, it splays closer to the head, like all the tips aren't the same length when I'm layering them. I layer them and then make the tips a little shorter closer I get to the head. But that's like a perfect freaking hair jig. So it extends like a 1/4 inch, like that thick stuff, like a 1/4 inch past the hook bend. Then you have like all this like coarse hair that you could barely see now, but I think that will look good. It'll give it kind of like a tail effect, but it's not like a solid trailer or a solid piece of rabbit leather. It's just the hair, but the coarser parts of the hair are the tail. There you go. So this stuff is super soft, and then this coarse hair kind of sticks out straight. So that is kind of the tail of this bait. I'm gonna make like, if I can make like 30 or 40 of these and drop them, that would be cool. But that's a lot of time. So here's that thicker head, the 1/4 ounce head. I'm getting everything like inverted and reversed, but so the coarse hair is your tail, and your soft part is I can't like explain how soft this is. It's like touching a rabbit, but probably softer than that. So this, my lighting's not very good, but there's purple and black. It's like perfectly blended. So there's no like hard lines of contrast in that. Like the whole thing as a bulk piece is black with like purple shadowing in it. Shit's awesome. So I did realize I'm actually saving all the extra long, not extra long, but just the excess fox fur. This stuff is so soft. It's lighter than a cloud. This stuff would make like insane dubbing, like way softer than rabbit dubbing is. And that stuff's like $5 a bag. I wonder if they sell fox dubbing. Probably. It probably gives you a look that is not, I guess, not as well wanted as. So if you're making a dubbing body, you probably want it to be coarse, not soft, because what is the softness going to do? How's that going to help the action? Not very much. So I think the softer hairs are good on moving baits that you want flow. So here is the coarse hair that I've picked out of that fox stuff. So there is no soft. This all got cut off the same thing. But this is the super soft under fur, and this is the super, oh shit. This is the super coarse hair. It's pretty weird. So I don't know if I could put this into a hair stacker and like make the tips evened out. But I mean, you could put this in a craw jig, like a hybrid jig. You could put this on a moving bait even. It is pretty stiff. Maybe I'm just holding it. See how it's purple? And then just all, it's all like one color. It's like black with like a purple shade. Yeah, this stuff is, it's really soft, but it sticks out straight. I can't like, it's way softer than bucktail. It's more sleek than bucktail. It's interesting. It's like harder than marabou, obviously, and it definitely would be more durable. It got chewed up and stuff. So like if I use just the coarse hair, I don't know if I can make a moving style bait with it being all coarse. Possibly would accent a moving bait or a moving jig. You know, it would be a good accent, I think. Just gotta find a way to use it, even like a hybrid craw jig. So baits that aren't, you know, moving so fast and constant. I think this would probably be the material for that. This stuff is insanely crazy good quality. I do have, I don't think I've used like 10% of what I got. This is the coarse hair and the soft under fur. It's all in there. You just have to, I could show you right now how I separate them. And I was throwing away the under fur because that's kind of what you do. You take the under fur out, you comb the under fur out and throw it away when you're tying with bucktail. So I was throwing that stuff away, and then I was just like, holy cow, this stuff is it's so soft. I'm gonna keep it. So let's see if I could even show you what the hell I do. And then I'm going to end the video and probably work on baits. And it came with like a leather strip. Like, that makes it so much easier to cut pieces off and to, you know, cut off of it instead of like, hey, I got a giant tail, where you have to kind of like dig into where the leather is, the hide, and then cut a piece off, which isn't like so hard to do, but definitely more maintenance with these. But I mean, I've never bought something like this, so it's definitely worth the experience and the experimentation. So here is this is a chunk I cut off. It has underfur and it has the coarse hair. That's what you get. This is kind of what I would tie on as my first layer, except I would pull off maybe 60% of the coarse hairs and then tie this in, because you need that underfur in order to have bulk to tie into that jig. But dude, this is pretty crazy and it's satisfying to watch. So I have 3 fingers holding, you know, the butt section of what I cut. And this is the coarse hair underfur. I'll repeat it a ton of times, but if you just take the coarse hairs out, look at this. This is the super, super soft hair. I'm tying my jigs with that. Super fluffy, soft hair. And then you have your thick hair, but you can see that there's still some underfur in here. So you have to like lightly pull it out. And you have that super fluffy stuff, and there's like tiny bits of like that coarse hair, but that makes the look of that look cool. So this would be like a perfect layer for the first layer of those jigs I'm making. And you could always pick out a couple of long hairs if you think there's too much. So that's pretty fun, just pulling those apart. So then I'm left with, you know, there's no fur here. This is just hard, coarse hair from, you know, I want to say it's a red fox. I don't know if it's Arctic fox, but it's a dyed black and purple foxtail. And if it's not Arctic fox, like, that is probably the softest fur I've touched, whatever it is. It might be red fox, but it is insanely soft. But I know it's not like, ooh, the softer the better. It's, you know, being a little less soft is good too. But here, I can't explain or show on camera the quality of this. See, that's not helping. So yeah, maybe you'll have to buy some to see the softness. But yeah, this stuff is gonna look really good. It's in a color. It's in an effective color for hair jigs, black with like purple shade. So I'm going to use up all of that and possibly buy more of it just to have in case it gets sold out, because it's pretty, like, that's the cost of like 3 bags of something, like 3 bags of dubbing, 3 bags of rabbit zonkers. Like, I can buy, for that price, I could buy 2 long strips of this for that price. Like, there's something going on with like fishing materials. Like, if it's meant for fishing, it's marked up, but if it's meant for making furry costumes and, you know, making a freaking hood out of your coat, then it's not so pricey. Because this to them is scrap, and this to me is like gold mine. So yeah, I gotta think outside the box like a little bit, I guess, but hopefully I didn't kill a secret for somebody. So this is I think this is the tip I broke off of that powder blue foxtail, but the tip has more white in it. Look at that, it's got white tipped, frosty tip blue. It's almost like a gray black. There's like no black in it. It's like a gray, blue, white tip frosted. So that would make an insanely cool hair jig as well. I don't know with this tail how the underfur will work, pulling that out, but hopefully similar. But definitely the quality of the blue ones aren't as good as the purple that I got, but not far behind. Like, it's still got like that, it's got like a shine to it, and it's not like that crusty freaking coarse stuff. But this is insane. Like, the hell is this? So yeah, I'm gonna have to dig down and cut like 2 inches of hide off, and then take that out, and that's gonna give me like 5 jigs worth of hair. So like, you could just imagine how much material you'll have to tie jigs with on something that costs like $15. And people are paying how much for fishing skirts and fishing tying materials from fishing websites or fly tying websites. But dude, I went on Etsy and I got this huge tail. Some of them have keychains, like this one. You could either have a keychain or you know, plugs on these. I got the keychain option. That to me is ridiculous. Like, the hair is good quality, like, from someone that looks at hair all the time. Like, I know this is gonna work out. This one's probably the least quality one, but all that means is I'll have to be careful and, you know, be careful with it and, you know, make it work. Find a way to make it work. So, like, look at the tip of this. It's like powder blue, the whole thing. But yeah, I think, like, this gray with little blue in it, that looks crazy. It's almost like using two colors of separate hairs that you're tying with, but it's all in one, so it makes it easy. So like, you can make a sweet two-tone looking jig. You didn't really do anything different, you just tied it in normally. So yeah, probably gonna end the video, but that was my unboxing of Fox, my Tackle Warehouse unboxing with all these cool hybrid Brian Schmidt baits. Football jigs, a cool hybrid spinnerbait, the Ned Dreads, which are really popular. That's a really difficult tie that looks like too. Some marabou jigs. These jigs I'm gonna fish. I'm gonna, you know, look at them and, you know, drool over them for a little bit. I just like looking at stuff like that. My 110 box I got with my special colors. My JDM Bento Box, I showed that. I showed a bunch of these Dark Sleeper wannabes, or I mean storm fishing wannabes. Just kidding, I'm not trying to like be an asshole, but Megabass Savage Gear and the Berkeley. So I had tons of luck with this bait, just pitching around and swimming it around. I feel good about the Savage Gear. I think the Savage Gear is going to be more weedless. And I think the Berkeley has the best hook gap, but the weed guard and the hook are obviously sticking out the most. So I would say the least realistic. I don't know. Yeah, the least realistic. I mean, I don't care how good the paint job is. You still have, you know, what is that? Got like the St. Louis Arch hanging out on top of the sky. Paint job, awesome. The plastic quality, it's good. Feels good. The hook gap, big, which is not a bad thing. The weed guard, though, is kind of ugly. Maybe if I cut that off. And just, yeah, cut this off. I'm going to cut one off right now. We're not going to end the video. We're going to modify the Berkeley Agent E. So let's just cut the back end off. So we have that going on. I don't know if this will be stiff enough to, like... Was that a good weed guard? Honestly, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't bank on it. If you go through some grass, that hook's getting caught. So we cut the gateway arch off of this bait. Now it is just basically a weedless without the fin. I might slit a hole into this with an X-Acto knife and epoxy in like 4 or 5 strands of a fiber weed guard in it. Maybe use like clear or the 2 wire weed guards that I use and epoxy those in so it's not like a giant arch. But yeah, if a fish wants it, it's gonna crush it. But I don't know if that big mono weed guard is going to like shy them away from, you know, committing to that. I talked about these already, this video. The Megabass is great, the action is great, the hook gap isn't quite the best. The hook seems to be the most stout of all of these. But the Savage Gear, the hook gap is similar to the Megabass one. The hook bend isn't as round, which is fine. It might honestly help. But it's a pretty stout hook as well. I think this one's going to be the most weedless of all 3 of those, as the plastic fin is, the beginning of the plastic fin is way ahead of the hook point. So I think this is going to be the most weedless version of all of these. But yeah. So I got that. I showed my next little project I'm doing with these hair jigs and the fox jigs. I still need a name for them, but I'm going to just see how many I can make and then do like a limited kind of product drop and see kind of how it goes. I think they'll fish really well. Like I said, I'm not like trying to like make a huge business move or anything. It's just finally I got caught up on orders, so now it's like my turn to like create something that I want to create. So that is the next thing that I'm working on. I'm probably going to be doing that and a collaboration with another person that is going to be coming out shortly. You'll see that, but until then, that's all I got for now. I got nothing else to unbox, and I got a plan to what I'm going to be doing in the next week, so I'm going to end it there. Maybe I'll do another video. Maybe by the time I get these all made up, maybe I'll do one, but that might take a couple weeks, so calling it. Let's see if I can figure out how to turn this off. Probably don't know how. Oh, here we go. We're done. That was an hour.